Hi Virgo, welcome to your June reading. This is Barefoot Mama Intuitive Reading, and welcome back if you've been here. If you haven't, thank you for being here, regardless. Um, Please like the video if you're here and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate you, and I love reading for you. I started your reading already, and then I got a call like in the middle of your reading, and I had to take it. So this June might be kind of filled with some interruptions. I also had a couple downloads before your reading. One was about like peaches and pit fruits, like cherries in general, and peaches and cherries. And then the other was with the sound bowl. So I opened with a sound bowl healing, and my left ear like went numb, or there was like a ringing in my left ear, and it was related to like I've had that happen a couple times in the last couple days, and I don't have tinnitus or anything. So your guides are trying to get through to you. They're asking you to be receptive, is what that was coming through as. And also the heat this summer might be activating something either medically in you. So maybe get a checkup. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm a tarot reader, but something about the heat might be affecting you, but also it might be activating something spiritually in you. So just keeping that in mind. Of course, it's warm. Woo! Stay hydrated. But with the peaches, maybe you're in Georgia or you're from Georgia. Just something to note there. I pulled an oracle card, the Tree of Life. You might be 58 years old. Your birthday might be the 13th of August or September. So you're like a Leo Virgo cusper, or like a Virgo Libra cusper potentially. Anyway, sorry, that's it. Let's go. I said Virgo Libra cusper, but I don't think the 13th is close to Libra season. Libra's like October. Okay. The Tree of Life. Spirit, please protect this reading. Send any negative energies back to sender, transmuted tenfold for the greatest good of all and harm to none. Archangel Michael, please protect this reading. Clear any energy cords, cut any energy cords to toxic, negative, or otherwise stagnant things in the Virgo collective. And Mother Mary, please bring compassion to this reading. I also call on Kali to continue with those cord cuttings. I've been drawn to call on Kali lately. Thank you. Amen, amen, so mote it be. So the Tree of Life, this tree has two trees like wrapped around each other, and I actually noted in your previous reading that, or in the one I was starting before I got interrupted, that I saw a tree like this recently in the mountains, and I believe it was two cherry trees wrapped around each other. There's all these butterflies below here talking about the transmutation of like underworld or subconscious energy, and the butterflies blend in with the leaves here. So I'm being reminded of that scene in The Hobbit, where he climbs the trees and the leaves are all like these butterflies, and he sees all these butterflies. So you might be like ascending in consciousness somehow, like the underworld stuff or the subconscious stuff is coming up, and you're seeing as if from above the trees, like a canopy, and the leaves are like the butterflies, and I'm seeing like sunlight. So instead of being underneath the canopy, now you're like above, and you have this like bird's eye view. The Tree of Life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source of destiny. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. A tall tree with shallow roots falls on the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. So I'm also being told to mention that the tree that bends in the storm doesn't break, but the tree that's stubborn will snap or break or fall. So there might be some like interruptions this June, some need for flexibility in your schedule, and also to achieve this, you can adopt this sort of bird's eye view perspective, or the observer perspective, right? Seeing things from above the canopy, um, from the microcosmic to the macrocosmic. I'm hearing to find health and balance in your life. Reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with your roots and physical body. If you are caught in mechanical doing and you are feeling stuck, not being able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longings. I'm also being reminded of tree pose. I always forget to mention I have a yoga channel, so you can check that out if you want. But in tree pose, um, the the hips are here, right, and then your leg comes out like so, and then your foot meets the leg, and this pressure here from the opening of the hip and the bending of the knee, like pushing into the side of the leg, it creates this energy that comes up, and it's from the pressure of these opposing forces that the energy comes from below and goes up and we grow. Also, root to rise is an expression commonly used in yoga. The deeper your roots go, right, the lighter you feel upon the rising, like the lighter you become. So there's something here as well about opposing forces or opposition actually creating the energy or the tension or what it is that you need to be able to rise up. So you're using any opposition here as stepping stones or building blocks. That's really quite beautiful. All right. Spirit, what does my Virgo collective need to know for this June? What are the energies for Virgo this June? We're going to call career, love, and spirit in. All right. Career. Ooh, 9 of Cups. Love. Cool. 2 of Pentacles. Spirit. The Emperor. Damn. These are good cards, Virgo. I really like this reading for you, or these energies for you. So in your career space, you're feeling in June emotionally satisfied, or you're figuring out what will make you feel emotionally satisfied in June, and you're going for that. You're implementing that, and you're doing so happily. You may be a little bit in your villain era this month, but in the best way possible, just doing for you what needs to be done so that you can pour from a full cup rather than from one that's empty, because you just can't pour from an empty cup, right? All right. In love, you're bringing things into balance somehow. We'll figure that out. And in your spiritual life, you are leveling up. You're the emperor. You're the king of kings. Your divine masculine is learning to receive the feminine, and as well to ground spiritual law in the natural world, the natural rhythm. So that's very cool. You might have Aries in your chart, and this could indicate to you where you're going to feel the most change, or the most like transmutation of spiritual energy this month. Cool. All right, career. What's going on with your career? Woo, death came out flying sideways. So you might be like over it. I don't know, whatever you're doing, you could be completely over it. And you're just like, I'm done. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to go invest in my hobby, or I'm retiring. You could be retiring this month or this year. You could be a teacher, and this could be like your last year teaching. If so, thank you for your service. I think we should always thank teachers for their service, because that's a kind of different line of duty, but one nonetheless that requires some seriously thick skin. So thank you if you're a teacher, but you don't have to be an academic teacher. You could be a teacher of any kind, or you could be moving into something where you guide others. 13. 13 is here twice. 5 and 8 and 13. You might have a 13-year-old, or the number 13 might be lucky to you. Wow, okay. So you're having some major anxieties about your either your retirement, your the retirement keeps coming up, but you might be looking for a job with benefits, or deciding that if you have a job with benefits, that you sort of are just in because it's practically good for you. You're kind of realizing that in the emotional space, there's much more to life, and you kind of need to figure out how to balance it here. Um, Death sideways, though, I just get that essentially you're moving on from one thing and like straight into another. It could be retirement into like creating a hobby income. It could be I don't know, you're having some sleeplessness about your pentacles, about receiving, especially in the heart space. Like there's just, you don't want to have a soulless job. You don't want to have a dead end job. And I don't see that you do. Like it seems like, I don't know, it seems like you're satisfied. The Star reversed on the Nine of Swords. Why? Burdens. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands here is like, you're just asking yourself, like, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Is what really worth it though? Like you're entering your Empress energy. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Oh, okay. So if you're not retiring, you might be considering going back to school. Um, because you've sort of reached the pinnacle of your workplace, like promotions available to you in your knowledge and what it is that you can do. And you're sort of like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing. Is this worth it? Like it's kind of burdensome. It kind of takes a lot of energy, and I don't feel like I'm getting like paid as much as I deserve. I want to be in this Empress energy, but instead I'm in this like Queen of Pentacles reverse, where like whenever I get money from my job, I like have to, I pay all my bills, and then I have like, you know, just enough left or something. And so you might be considering going back to school to get like a little bit more knowledge, or a little bit more like a higher degree for licensure or something, so that you can have a pay raise. So you might be just looking at schools, since it's June. A lot of schools are enrolling for the fall, and you're kind of looking into that. You're weighing your options. I'm hearing with your job. Like you could have lots of options. You could be like someone who works in the emotional space. Again, like you might be a teacher, or you might be a counselor, or a doula. That's interesting. With death here, you might be helping people move like through grief spaces, and it could actually like keep you up at night sometimes, because I mean, working with people in those spaces, those emotional spaces of, you know, grief or death or trauma, like it's hard for us, as for any person, I think, to like hear those stories, because we naturally want to sympathize or empathize or help or fix, for the most part. That's my understanding. And it's actually easier, I think, for a lot of people to just kind of shut down when they hear another person's trauma. So I feel like you generally keep your heart open to other people's stuff, whatever it is that you do for work. This could literally just be like your coworker in the office who tells you all about whatever's going on with them at home, or like between them and another coworker, maybe they have some workplace like dating thing going on. Whatever this is, I just feel like you're like, man, I'm tired. I'm tired. And I don't know that if I get paid enough for this job. But I see that you're really good at what you do, the Empress, and you do deserve to receive more, even in your current like position, regardless of whether you do pursue a higher degree or like licensure or whatever it is. Like I feel like you already deserve to be paid more. So you might just be looking like at another company, or looking to even start your own this month. The Five of Wands reverse. Yeah, you're over the drama. Page of Pentacles. Okay, cool. So yeah, you might be looking to start your own practice or business, with the Page of Pentacles, and needing to learn some just basic skills. Like you don't have to go back to school for a PhD. You might just need to get like take an accounting class or something. What else? Oh, the Page of Wands. Yeah, you're inspired, especially by any sleeplessness, or with the Star reverse. Like if your job position is one where you deal with people in the emotional space or emotional sector, like I'm getting like addiction counseling. Like it's one of like the hardest, it's just one of the hardest like spaces to be in for people who work in that sort of sector, because addiction is so difficult to address. Like somebody has to want to overcome their own addiction to get out of it, and a lot of the times addicts don't, they don't want to, or they're not at that point yet. They want to continue with wherever they're at. So I don't know, or like a youth mentor with the Page of Pentacles here. Maybe you want to start some sort of like mentorship program for young people. Whatever you're doing or whatever sector you're in, you do want to start something new, learn something new, and I think get into your own like business, entrepreneurship. You're not necessarily ending your job or your career. You're just transitioning into something new and um inspiring for you. Yeah. Okay. In love, we have the Two of Pentacles, the Tower, the Magician reversed, the Three of Cups reversed, Three of Wands, King of Wands, the Moon. Okay. More Aries energy here with the Tower. You have the Emperor and the Empress in this reading. So I feel like where you're at in your personal ability to nurture yourself, specifically through your career, like how you appear in your career or feel in your career and in your spirituality, sort of, I think it influences your love life in a way that you maybe don't or haven't seen before, and this June you're going to be seeing it. Something about your spirituality and your career, they collide in your love life this month, and it brings things into balance. The Magician upside down and the Tower. Okay, Three of Cups reversed. I feel like maybe if you're currently in a relationship, you might be realizing like you don't still have the same foundations of friendship in your relationship that you used to, and you'd like to rekindle that with your significant other. Yeah. And I think in doing that, you sort of look back on like the process of like your career or the business aspect of things in your life, and you realize like it helps you make whatever decision you're making in your career as well, because you're like, no, it's not worth it for me to be doing this or putting all this emotional energy into my workspace, because it takes away from putting emotional energy here in my connection with my significant other. um the King of Wands looking back on this career situation is telling me that some realization about something you don't currently see in your love life is going to allow you to make the clear decision moving forward. I think it's a decision you've actually already made, and you just need to take action on it with the King of Wands here, Three of Wands, and your ships are coming in. So you're no longer in the magician like manifestation place. You're in the I'm doing this. I'm taking action. I'm getting it done. You could be moving into some spiritual work. I don't know. I feel like your love life is not, it's not really the focus this month, but it becomes the focus because of what it is that you're focusing on. I don't know how to say this, but we were in yoga today doing, or yesterday doing like a balancing pose, and you focus on a drishti or a point that doesn't move, right? But as you focus on that, your peripheral becomes more and more apparent. So it's kind of that for your love life this month. You're really focused on your career and the choices that you're making in transitioning to some sort of newness there, whether that's your entrepreneurship or whether that's working with like youth instead of, you know, the people around you currently, or women and children. I don't, something there you're helping, or your community service, you're doing charity, whatever this is. It's just, I'm definitely getting this like expansion, working with more people, a bigger variety of people, and finding ways to make your day to day in terms of how it is that you receive money or security or whatever, expanding that to reach a broader audience, more people, and to do so in a way that like helps people. But as you're focusing on this, and then with the Emperor here, like focusing on your spirituality or getting these big downloads, the peripheral picture of your love life becomes more and more clear, and you see a tower, um, you see the moon. It's like you see what you haven't been seeing, specifically because you're looking at something else. That's just so interesting and just a really specific reading. The Hermit. Oh, you see yourself clearly because of how the situation in your love life unfolds. So if you're not with somebody currently, the Tower moment here is like how the way that you've been working in your life to expand, to meet people, to what is that word I'm thinking of? Network. Yeah, to network. It actually creates this need for you to go inward when you're at home, to enjoy your time alone. And with the snow underneath this Hermit, I'm seeing you might like freeze people out in your love life, because you, with the Hermit and the Emperor in your spiritual space here, you just, you need your time to like connect to spirit, to get your downloads. And love is just, is not your focus. Partnership is not your focus. But I think that in your love life, you're realizing like that this is also what you need from somebody in a connection. You may need in a connection from somebody else, a person who can deal with that sort of that level of your commitment to your purpose, your soul purpose, sorry, which is really quite beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune reverse, the King of Pentacles. You may also be worried in your love life that you will never, if you're single, that you'll never find somebody who is like for you. The Three of Cups reverse tells me that you see people as if from a distance. Like, even if you're in a social gathering with somebody, you're kind of, you feel like the odd man out. Even if you're very social, even if you're the center of attention, even if you Don't find it hard to speak to people at all. There's a part of you that feels like it's not seen. The Wheel of Fortune reverse. And you feel like you've been in some way unlucky in love or unlucky in your manifestations in love. But with the King of Wands here, I think somebody may be seeing what you've done, what you've been through, what you've gone through. It could be a Leo or a King of Pentacles, and they're taking action towards you. It could be somebody in the workplace, especially if you're deciding to change jobs or something, or expand or come into your own in some way. It's something about this shift, this change at your workplace brings like this notice from a fire sign or an earth sign. King of Wands, King of Pentacles. You're connecting with the idea of reconciling what brings passion into your life with what brings security into your life, with the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles here as well. And you may feel like whenever you engage in something passionate, your security falls by the wayside, and either you spend too much money, or um you lose focus. Like there's something up here about you needing to like stay centered and focused in what it is that you do. And I'm seeing that this June with the King of Pentacles, you're going to find somebody who sort of they present as very secure and very grounded and maybe even a bit aloof. But the King of Pentacles is the married man of the tarot. He is the family man. He's the provider. And with the King of Wands behind him and the moon, I think that you may not initially see, if you're meeting somebody new, that this person has the capacity for deep passion as well. They could, again, have Aries in their chart here, or it's somebody you met in Aries season. But if this is somebody you've been connected with, say you're in a happy relationship, I think that you may be taking some time this June to rekindle those passions. Like you've been focusing more on your security, more on your internal like development and your career development. And it may, with the Three of Wands, it may be beneficial to you both to just take some time to go somewhere warm and sunny. The Three of Wands talks about your ships coming in, and it's also a perspective card. It's one of those cards where these ships could be stranded in a desert, like an ocean that has just dried up, or they could be coming in on this like golden afternoon um, in this bay, right? And this card is generally a very good card that means the ending of your troubles. But with the Magician reversed underneath it, I'm seeing that the ending of your troubles is just very much a matter of perspective. Again, that thing with the focus and the periphery. Like I almost get that if you focus too much on love or trying to manifest love or trying to be in a partnership, it's sort of like you kind of get in your own way, or you get in the way of it sort of naturally unfolding. Whereas when you focus on your spirituality, you focus on your job, you focus on your stability and staying centered here with you at the heart of the reading. Nine of I'm sorry, the major arcana, the Hermit, the nine, the card nine. I wanted to say Nine of Swords. That's interesting because it's here. Oh, you might be seeing yourself in this Nine of Swords energy instead of this Hermit energy. Like you might have anxiety about how much time you like to spend alone. You might feel like if you focus on yourself that it's not going to create a good balance in your love life. But it seems quite the opposite. Like the more you sort of focus on yourself and what's good for you, again, embrace your villain era, the more that you'll see this person who you're connecting with or are already connected with is secure and passionate about you, and it sort of inversely creates that understanding. You're like, oh wow, I've just been doing kind of my own thing, and this person like just loves me more and more, um and I just love them more and more for it, and it creates this, I see the Knight of Swords, like this just beautiful energy in your love life this month, Virgo. Cool. And in the spiritual space, spirit, what do we have going on for Virgo? If you have stuck with me this far, please remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Ooh, the Four of Wands. I love this. So the Four of Wands is like the gateway card, 1111. It could mean a twin flame connection, like a spiritual level up. It could mean finding your soul tribe or exactly where it is you feel you belong in your community. You have 4 and 4 in the spiritual space. So 44 might be a really important angel number for you this month. Also 9 and 9 and 333. So check those out. And 13, right? 13, 9, 333, and 44. Okay, so the Four of Wands is beautiful as well because you go from the Three of Wands here to the Four of Wands. This realization in your love life about like how you feed your own soul and it creates like a collective um balance, like between you and your person, between you and the people you love or your friendships. I'm seeing, sorry, that your some of your friendships might fall away a little bit this June with the Three of Cups reversed. But if they do, it's because those people were kind of already on their way out. Okay. They might be work friendships if you're leaving like a workplace, right? Something like that. Or you're moving. But the Four of Wands, sorry, I got totally distracted, can also mean spiritually like a gateway into a new, like a portal, or like a new ascension process. So let's clarify this. Six of Wands reverse and the Page of Cups reverse. If you're entering into like a new business, or creating, like you're pursuing entrepreneurship in some way, you may experience a couple of, I'm hearing minor setbacks or interruptions. Again, that came up at the beginning of your reading, because you're learning with the Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, to ground those emotional desires into your reality still. Like you're still kind of figuring out, you're just kind of working out the kinks, right? Like you're, as the guy at Minnow Pond Tarot, he always says throwing the spaghetti at the wall and like seeing if it sticks. That's kind of the process you're in, um with your career. You're developing some new understandings in your love life because of that. And then spiritually, like I almost get that all of these are like connected for you in a way that's very obvious. It's not always obvious that these things are all connected, although I personally believe that they are. No matter what, spirit, love life, like career, it's all sort of like we hope to get into alignment, right? But there's something in your spirituality that you're like re-examining, um and it has to do with these minor setbacks or these minor failures. It could be like you abide by the law of attraction, and with the Magician reverse going into these sort of setbacks, you're sort of examining the way that you've been manifesting and wondering, like, is this principle really one that I abide by? Is this is this really the way I use this tool? Like you have the pentacle here, right? And say you have some money to invest into your business. Again, that's coming up. Maybe you don't invest it where it needs to go, and then you ask spirit, like, why why did you lead me that way? Like maybe you followed some signs and like invested in the wrong thing or whatever. And then you're asking spirit, like, why did you send me those signs to invest there and then it didn't work, you know? So you might be examining like how you co-create with spirit and whether or not that's serving you in this time. And what I'm seeing and hearing with this is that you start to rely less on external validation or external like signs, symbols, synchronicities, which may have become at this point like a little bit counterintuitive. And instead, you begin to rely on this inner knowledge, this inner wisdom, that is grounded in your personal experience. So you're sort of coming into balance there as well. And by relying more on your intuition and your personal experience, and also the feedback of others in your community, or how what you put out in the community is received, you're able to ground your ideas more fully. So I think that's what this level up is like when we first sort of have like awakenings, right? And we start to see that language of symbols and signs and synchronicities. It's really exciting, and it's really like beautiful validation from the universe, and it's so like confirming, and it'd be lovely if it could last forever. But we go through sort of undulations, right? Where spirit will sort of treat you almost like a child, and like I'm being reminded of that sea turtle in Finding Nemo. The little baby sea turtle like exits the current, the stream, and goes out into the ocean. And Marlin, like the main character, he freaks out and he's like, "Oh my god, we gotta go save him!" And the big turtle's like, "Just hang on, let us see what Squirt does out on his own," And he like makes his way back. So this is the universe kind of being like, "Oh, you're out in the ocean now instead of in the stream, instead of in the flow. Let us see what you do." And it's almost like the universe is allowing you to find your way back to the flow, sort of over and over, so that you recognize it, and so that you recognize what works for you and what doesn't in terms of staying in the flow. Again, like signs, synchronicity, symbols are great, but it can get overwhelming and exhausting, and it can actually like interrupt the flow of our intuition. So if you're experiencing some setbacks or some weird, like almost off-putting energy in that way, like say you ask the universe for a sign like, show me a goldfish when it's time for me to do A, B, or C for my business. And then you see a goldfish like in a pond at a cafe, and then you see a goldfish on somebody's car, and then you see a goldfish at your friend's home, and then you just start seeing goldfish everywhere, and it's all the time, and you kind of get to this point where, and then say you actually do the thing, you do the A, B, and C, and then it doesn't work out. You get to this point where you're like, universe, why did you send me all those goldfish? I asked I asked for you to tell me when. So I don't know, there's something here about you clarifying your co-creation with the universe, and clarifying the nuances of that. Anything else for Virgo in this reading? Five of Cups reverse, King of Cups reverse, Four of Pentacles reverse. There's definitely something in the emotional space that needs to be cleared up here for your security and for your victory. You're undoing any sense of clinging to the past or loss. You might experience a little bit of like a little bit of a hit to the ego if, say, some people at work who were your friends, like maybe you stop hanging out, or I don't know, you might overhear like somebody you're interested in or somebody you're already connected with in love say something about you that makes you feel really self-conscious or like insecure, and it might be it might be about your spirituality, like your belief systems, and it makes you sort of question your belief systems. And you might feel a little bit insecure or emotionally unstable, but this spiritual stuff that's happening for you this month, that insecurity or instability is here to allow you to move through this, for like this 1111 portal. 4-4. Maybe look back to 4-4, like Aries season, and see what was going on. I think there was a eclipse. Yeah, there was eclipse on the 6th. Look at the eclipse and see like what was going on for you, like around the 3rd or the 4th of like April, around March, April, that time period. Because whatever was going on for you, I feel like that was the initiation of this sort of spiritual like gateway you're going through. And it's addressing a lot in your emotional space, in where you put your energy, and how it is that you deem yourself worthy of like other people's time and energy. You are moving to calmer waters, even if you don't really necessarily feel like you've gone anywhere. And the Knight of Swords. I'm hearing Gemini season. We're in Gemini season right now. So you may also be learning how to correct your self talk. I think this came in for Sagittarius. You have Sagittarius back here with the Ten of Wands as well. Your self talk, or something about the way you, yeah, something about the way you communicate regarding your spirituality or with spirit, um, might be all I can keep saying is corrected or brought into balance. Like, I feel like you might have a relationship with spirit where spirit will, like, you feel like spirit might like punish you if you do something this way or that way, like some sort of like latent moon like energy, like deep unseen or subconscious, like do this or else, like moral, I don't know. But with the tree of life here again, all of these butterflies coming up from beneath up to the trees, the canopy where you can see the light, and there's this gateway. I feel like that's all coming up to be transmuted, and you're seeing it for what it is, and you're getting the clear messages finally. And the messages that you used to receive that were like more confusing than helpful, like you're not going to be getting those anymore. And that loud left ear ringing might be indicative of like your guides coming through for you as well. Maybe you have an earring on the left side that you wear that has a symbol on it that could be really a clear message for you. What is the Eight of Wands reversed? Eight of Swords reversed and the Two of Wands. I don't know. The Hangman reversed. Okay. Also, like, you're taking the blindfold off regarding any sort of more forward movement right now. There's something where you might feel compelled to move forward or just compelled to go, 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 go. Especially with the emphasis on work in this reading, you could be like some sort of like you could work a lot. And you feel a little bit tied down with the Two of Wands. You dream about doing stuff, but because of like this need for security or balance or the two stability, like you you don't necessarily want to continue working on those at the moment. And the Hangman reverse says that you actually feel kind of relieved about this, because the Hangman upright, this guy is like going through pain and sacrifice to get knowledge, to get wisdom. And I feel like you're just taking it easy on yourself. Like any sort of compulsion to, I'm even hearing like self-help. Like if you read a lot of self-help books or you do a lot of self-help work or you do a lot of work on yourself, um to like fix A, B, and C, it's like you're coming to a perspective where you're realizing you're perfect just the way you are. There's no need to fix A, B, and C. There's no need to achieve more or move forward to feel that sense of being the emperor of your own life. Your divine masculine is being healed in this way. Your divine masculine doesn't need a stroked ego, to be valid, to be beautiful, and to be worthy of his throne. He keeps things in balance. I feel like whoever I'm speaking to in the Virgo collective today, like you really have your shit together and you just have like this anxiety about how to keep it together as if it's going to fall apart. And you're coming to this realization like it's not. The only way it's going to fall apart now is is if I keep wanting to like, it's almost like a scab. Sorry about the gross imagery, but it's almost like a scab that's scabbed over and you just got to let it heal, but you keep wanting to like pick at it. Like there's nothing left to do. I'm getting shavasana, like corpse pose. Just rest, just chill. Um in the spiritual space as you move through this lesson. Spirit's bringing you peace. Six of Swords. Yeah, moving to calmer waters, especially in the mind space. So, Virgo, this was your reading. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was insightful. If it was and you liked this reading, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.